Someone hit me in the comments and said, Brian, can you address, this wasn't his exact words, but Brian, can you address situations where there's 4 balls on the table and you need to run out an 8-ball? The first step in running 8-ball racks consistently is understanding the use of key balls. So let's understand key ball play. The key ball is the shot that I want to use to get on the 8. Especially when you're playing, I'd say intermediate, especially lower intermediate level, the table changes so much. Your key ball and your K2, these are going to change as well. So when you come to the table, each time you come to the table, you have an opportunity to run out, which means you have to designate a new key ball. The 5 ball being right here near the side, these are very good key balls. If I played that 5 in the corner or in the side or anywhere, I'm going to get on that 8 pretty easily. As you can see, a key ball is something that is connected to the 8 ball. We look at this, we know the 5 is our key ball, and we say, okay, here's our pattern. The 7 is connected to the 5 because we can get an angle on the 7 that brings us out and allows us an easy shot on the 5. The 4 is connected to the 3, so there's our pattern. 4, 3, 7, 5, 8. So our run would look like this. I'm going to shoot this with a little bit of stun. And I say a little bit of stun because I really could have drawn it back and gotten a different angle on this 3. So I'm going to come off this rail actually to try to get a little better angle on that 7. Remember, I'm getting on the 5 after that. And now we got just enough angle. It may look through the camera like I'm straight, but I have just enough angle to come here and get on the 5 ball. I'll probably put a little bit of high right on this just so that I can get greedy and get straighter on the 5 because I don't want to overrun that 8 ball when I play the 5. These are all things that you guys will learn to think about. It's not just getting a position where you can put the ball in the pocket, but how are you putting in the pocket? Now, I didn't get greedy enough, so I have a pretty much of a cut here, but I'm just going to tap this in as soft as could possibly be hit and go in the pocket, and I am perfect on the 8 ball. So there you can see that even when we don't get the best position on our key ball, it's still very valuable because we have a high probability of being out when we use that ball. Here's our situation. You're down to your last 4, mid-game. Your opponent has 4 balls on the table. The 8 ball is in a very strange spot here on that short rail. You better have a plan to get to it because this is one of the most difficult things. Even if the 8 ball is all the way over here, if you look at this traffic, you still have a difficult time getting on it. A lot of times you'll find it here and it's almost impossible. The good news about here is this side and this side are equally as good. But when it's on a diamond like that, you have limited opportunities to get on that ball. Now, what do you do here? The 2 is sitting in the pocket. You've got the 4 in front of that side, but it's in a straight line to the 2. The 7 is on the short rail again. Always a bad thing. I know the answer already. How many of you raise your hand if you want to shoot this 4 to the 2? That is a stone cold APA 4, APA 5 move. This is not the correct shot, guys. This is not the shot. First off, any combination should be vetoed the second you can find any other thing to do at the table. This is your shot. This is your first shot, guys. You have to think these things through. Don't play these shots. They're not helping you at all. In fact, the 2 ball first would be a better idea than playing the 4 ball first. But here, we're almost straight in on the 5. If we shoot a stop shot, a stun shot anyway, on this 5, it looks like that, and guess what we're on? We're on the 2 ball. So now, all we have to do is shoot another stop shot here on the 2, get an angle on the 7 to give us what? Our side pocket key ball play here. So don't shoot this ball because it's sitting there. It doesn't help you. Why is this not a good idea? If I shoot this and then get on the 2, now I'm on the 7. I have to get from the 7 here down here to the opposite short rail. That is not the kind of play you want to have to make at the end of the game, but it is one of the reasons why everyone's run breaks down with 4 balls left on the table. So you shoot a stop shot there, and now you have very easy position getting on the 4 ball, because this looks like it's going to nudge the 12 ball, but that's okay. Whether I miss it or nudge it, I will be on this 4, and then I'll show you what we can do once that happens. So we nudge it, we're on the 4, and now you have to get a little bit exotic. We're going to shoot a draw shot here to get on the 8. If you're worried about coming back here and getting behind this 10 ball somehow, that's a trick shot. You've got a very small window where you're not on that 8. You only need to be in this part of the table. You only need to be anywhere over here, and you're going to be on the 8 ball. So where this is not a beginner shot, a lot of you intermediate players, and certainly you high intermediates, can draw this ball back and end up in this zone. So that's all you need to do to be out. And there you are. Anywhere down here, you're going to be on that 8 ball, you're going to be out. You guys leave pocket hangers for a couple different reasons. You leave them as insurance shots and you leave them to block pockets. As insurance shots, they make a lot of sense. But there's a third thing that you're missing sometimes. They are very good key balls, and they're very good to get position on other shots because you have so much control over how you go about hitting it. Inside, outside, left, right. You can do anything you want. Draw, anything but follow it in the pocket, you can do. So we use the 7 by getting rid of the 4, which we already determined is not a good key ball. I drew back a little bit on this 5, but the better position would have been to stay here. So I'm going to play this with high right. So I come off the rail, and all I need to do, I don't have to get perfect on this 3. I just need to leave the cue ball as close to the rail as possible. When you have pocket hangers, the best position you can get is on the short rail or on the long rail when you're shooting that pocket hanger. You'll see why. We just rolled a 3 ball in, and again, we're just focusing on getting close to the rail. You can't get any closer than that, okay? Why is this good? Because anybody watching this, I don't care what your level is, you are a favorite to be on the 8 ball. All you have to do is hit this with a little bit of high right English and not too much speed, because you don't want to send it flying around the table. And the only place you don't have a shot is behind this 10 ball. I'll bet you $1,000 you can't get behind that 10 ball. So just shoot it. You're going to be on the 8. The shot looks like this. High right. Soft as I hit it. Can't possibly end up behind that 10. Not possibly, but like I said, it's 1,000 to 1 shot. And you're out. Sometimes your best key ball is sitting in the pocket. I don't want this video to be about complex cluster breaks, but I want to show you this just so that you understand the concept and why we're doing what we're doing. This comes up a lot. The 7, because of where it's located, I can almost get in there and break that up. If I shot it 5 times, I might make it 3. The 2 obviously doesn't go there. I'm behind the 2. If I want to come off of 3 rails and avoid everything, I could do some kind of trick shot and get to that cluster. The 1 is connected to the cluster. Some people, the first thing they see is, I'm going to shoot a draw shot on the 2. I'll get over here, an area the size of Bryan's hand. I'll have a perfect angle to break up that cluster. No, that's no good. Shane's going to have trouble getting in an area right here off of a draw shot there. Absolutely. I know some of you think he's a god, and I think so too, but he's not getting right there. But you know where he can get? Anywhere down here. So what you do is you bring your cue ball back into this zone, which is as big as Texas, anywhere down here. And now you have an angle where you can break up this cluster. I'm just going to tap this down with low left. Because I don't know what's going to happen to the 6, I'm not messing with this 7 ball. That's my insurance shot. That's another reason not to use it. So I'm going to shoot this with a little bit of low left. And now, not only am I on the 6, but I've got this beautiful pocket hanger as a key ball. We just talked about how good that is. If you remember from 5 minutes ago, I told you getting on the rail is ideal for these pocket hangers, because then you have a really good angle to get back down the other end of the table and get on that 8 ball. But the 14 has parked itself right in our path. So we have an area that is less than 5 inches to get inside and have a shot on that 7. So we examine it. Can I get in there? Absolutely. But again, it's all about, guys, leaving yourself high percentage shots. This area is 4 or 5 times larger than this area. This is where I want to be. I don't have a choice about it. It's way too tight for me to want to deal with. So now I got to get a little exotic. I'm going to shoot a draw shot the length of the table. But understand, guys, if I set this up 10 times, half the times this 14 ball is not going to be blocking my way. And I would get in here and I would use this to get down table. You don't need a 9-foot draw shot on this situation most of the time, but that's what I'm going to do. What am I aiming for? I'm aiming, if you really want to know, at that 10 ball, but I don't want to scratch, all right? I want to come on this side of the 10 ideally, but again, I'm drawing it the length of the table. So the shot looks like this. We get inside the 10. We have a really nice shot on the 8. We could have been a little bit more perfect. I'll shoot it left-handed just to show how makeable it is. And we're out. So again, you're not going to have that exact situation. You're not going to have to shoot 9-foot draw shots. You're not going to have to avoid balls all the way. All you have to do is know that breaking up the cluster was the difference between winning the rack and losing the rack. And it took us 2 shots to get position to break up that cluster. The first thing you should be thinking when you're looking at a pattern is what balls are connected. We already talked about the key ball. Our key ball here, the 5 puts us on the 8 in the side. That's no good. The 1 puts us on the 8 in the corner. That's really good. So we know that the 1 is going to be our key ball. Where is our pattern here? Another thing you should look for are things that eliminate your ability to run out easily. Not your ability to run out, but to run out easily. When you have a ball that is parallel to another one, getting on that 1 in a decent way from the 5 or getting on the 5 in a decent way to the 1 is a challenge. You've got to do something good. You got to follow off a rail or 2 rails. You got to shoot a draw shot with good speed. You got to do a lot of things. So you want to avoid those situations. The 6 gets us on the 3, which gets us on the 1. So we use the 5 to get position on the 6. It's already there for us, right? Okay, so yes, we're going to shoot the 5 first. The 5 gives us this layup on the 6. We shoot a little bit of draw here. And now we look at it. We take a look. Will a stop shot give me the position I want on the 3? Absolutely not. A stop shot, well, if I stun it, it's going to come this way. I'd rather be moving that way on the 1, so I want to be on this side of this shot line. on the 3-ball, which means I shoot to 6 with a little bit of follow. Not a lot, just a little bit. You could shoot a drag shot there. I think it's more controllable to shoot it with a follow shot. And now, guess where I am? Almost straight on this 3-ball. So this is a stun shot. I bet you want this position at the end of a game, right? This just takes a little bit of draw to be perfect on the 8. And now, we're out. Thanks for watching, gang. Hit us in the comments, give us a thumbs up, and if you haven't subscribed, make sure you hit that subscribe button, and I will be punching these out for you as best and as often as I can. And I appreciate you guys watching. You guys are the greatest ever on YouTube, and have a great day.